Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, we were mostly just really doing comb work again, getting her used to turning, and rather than me leading her, it was kind of a good opportunity to try out some long reining. So you can see firstly we're just testing the waters, making sure she's listening. She's got a bridle on, not the head collar. And you can see she's a little bit wobbly. She's not sure, I'm not sure. But we're figuring it out. So it was a good opportunity for her to gain confidence leading the way. Right, so we did a lot of confidence building with the saddle, but actually that would either be me leading her or lunging her. So this is just a good way to get her to listen and, you know, be happier about going in front and having somebody behind her or eventually on the back. So first we just did a nice simple loop, not too much turning, just to get her happy enough being long-reined. See, there were a lot of flies, so she's swishing her tail a lot and it kept getting caught on the ropes, which is never ideal, because suddenly it would like pull the rein down and then she'd think I'm turning her. I'm like, no, keep going straight. So then we attempt the first few turns, and it's more like weaving now. So rather than having the cones in like a line, they're staggered. So it's a good way to give us plenty of space to turn and have little marker points. You can see Donkey was watching because we had a go at long reining Donkey afterwards, which went surprisingly well. So I'm not really using a lot of pressure. I'm just trying to move the rein away, still keep a bit of contact, but you know, increase the pressure on the rein that I'm asking her to turn. And then as soon as she does turn enough, I then loosen it. Because it's always important to maintain this pressure and release so that she knows she's doing the right thing, because the moment she does it, there's a release of the pressure. And she's quite relaxed about it. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of long reining, just as in personally. But it's definitely good to try different things, change up the exercises a little bit so it doesn't become too repetitive and they learn different skills. And you can see that earlier she was relaxing because she's doing the snorty thing that they do. So rather than going back round, this time I just went straight through the middle. So I don't want her to be able to predict what I'm going to ask her to do either, because then she's not really listening to what I'm asking. You see she stopped nicely, and then we do it again. It was quite windy that day too, so I wasn't pulling very glamorous faces. So this time I asked for a bit of a circle, which is a little bit more complex. You know, the moment they do something right, you want to ideally like repeat it once and then move on to something else. Otherwise it becomes boring. And then they might stop doing it right and then you've got a bigger problem. So you can see she's taking her time. Turning is one of the things she struggles with most, which is why this is also a good exercise for her. And again, because the cones are staggered, she at least has that break for a little bit where she can walk straight, so it's not just constantly turning circles. And you can see she's chewing and licking, and she seems pretty happy about it all. She's not fussed. You see there she was struggling more to stop because she was again predicting what she should do. And this is where I was going to do a little bit of a trot. I didn't want to stand directly behind her then because I didn't want her to feel as though I'm chasing her. So just, you know, it's about changing it up and doing what you feel comfortable with, because If you do something that you don't feel good about, then your horse won't feel good about it either. So it's fine figuring things out together, taking your time. And as I said, long reining is not something I particularly enjoy a lot, so trotting wasn't majorly on the agenda for that day. You can see she's responding nicely. She's turning when I ask. There's barely any pressure. And that's what you want. The only thing is there's not a lot of flexibility in her body, and she's not actually bending around the corners as much. But she's trying, and that's what we're learning. And then that was it for the long reining, because there wasn't a lot more we could do. So then I decided to try and work on our connection as such that she doesn't need a lead rope. And be sure to watch till the end of the video, because then there's a bloopers bit and you'll see what she's normally like. But yeah, so I wanted to do basically the same pattern, but this time that she would go alongside me as such. And then rather than just focusing on turning, then we'd add in bits of trotting. So the idea was, we walk when we get to a cone, we turn, and then we trot. And you can see she's not really that enthusiastic about it, but you keep asking, and you know, I gave her a bit more space there so that she didn't feel too much pressure, right? So if I'm determined to get her to trot, I'll at least ask for 2 strides, even if it means we have to do a really wide turn around the cone. And then that's where we trotted downhill, just to give her a chance to walk properly. Anyway, enjoy the bloopers and see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.